Guys, are you getting my voice? Good morning, guys. Are you getting my voice? Okay, today we are starting a new subject in the new semester, that is compiler design. Wow, today count is 33. A very good count. Guys, is it okay the screen? It's only for today. What about remaining classes? From tomorrow onwards, only the few people. రేపు చూద్దాం ఉంటావా ఒరిజినల్ కౌంట్ మరి 5 to 6 ఏనా wow counting 35. Okay guys, are you getting my voice? Shall we start? See, now we have a fresh concept called the compiler design. Okay, we have to see in this semester we have a new subject called the compiler design, which is an interesting subject for those who understand it. Otherwise, it is a big, like a jumping into a well without knowing swimming. If you can't understand, then become that your situation will be like a person who swims in a well without knowing swimming. If you understand that point, it will be it will be like a person who jumps in the well, who know very well swimming. Somebody is speaking outside. Is it okay, my voice now? Is it okay? Disturbance is due to some people who didn't mute it. Still people are coming. Hey, count is 36. Okay, guys, is it working now? Now, today we are seeing a new fresh subject that is called the compiler design. Okay, which is a very, very interesting subject. When we come to this one, okay, before going to the compiler, we have to briefly know when we come to a computer. Generally, we know very well that a computer is a combination of both hardware and software. A computer will contain hardware devices as well as the software components, and hardware components are there. When we come to the hardware components, generally they are the mechanical devices which are directly available. They are the mechanical devices. Okay, for the hardware components, how would we give the instruction for the hardware components in a computer? In which way we can give the instruction? Internally, how it will take? If you are pressing the keyboard, how it will recognize that one? How the hardware device will recognize that one? Okay, how the hardware component will accept the input? You are giving through keyboard and mouse. Okay, I am accepting. In which way it will receive? How it will understand that one? How the hardware components will he? See, my question is about the hardware components, not about the software components. I am discussing now. We are discussing about the hardware components. How the hardware components will understand the instruction in which format. See, when we come to the hardware components of the computer or any hardware device, the hardware component will understand the instructions through the electric charges. Okay, by taking the electric charges only, the hardware components will understand the instructions using the electric charges, electronic and electric charges only. Okay, in the form of electronic charges only, they will the hardware devices will understand the instructions. Clear? Is it clear, guys? When we come to the hardware components, not only for computer, for any hardware device, how it will understand the instructions means through the electric charges only, it will understand the instructions. For example, for a fan, we want to increase the speed. Okay, simply we are pressing on the button to increase the speed. We are rotating that speed. What we call that one? Um, some switch is there for increasing the speed. Simply we rotate that one. Internally, how it will understand that one means in the form of electric charge only, it will understand. Okay, the user wants to increase the speed, the user wants to decrease the speed. Okay, for any hardware devices, generally they will understand the instructions from the user in the form of electronic charges. Similarly, in our computer also, the hardware components of the computer, whether it is a hard disk or RAM or see fan, CPU, fan, or processor. Okay, the hardware components will understand the instructions in the form of electric charges. What about the software components? Okay, before going to software component, what are the hardware components in a computer? What are the components you know very in a computer? Some examples of hardware components. Monitor, yes. Keyboard, mouse, monitor. What are the speaker? Yes, exactly. Best example, speaker. It will receive the instruction and give output using electric charges only. Printer. ఇంకా మీరు చూసేయండి కంప్యూటర్లో మీరు చూసేయన్ని మన కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఏమి ఉన్నాయి మనకు విజిబుల్ హార్డ్వేర్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ విచ్ వీ కెన్ సీ డైరెక్ట్లీ hard disk is there, RAM is there, cables is there, our computer cabin is there. Okay, all these are the hardware components. When we come to the software component, what are the software components of a computer? Some examples for software components of a computer. We have seen briefly the hardware components, which we know very well. What are the software components? Yes, very good. OS is the best example. Why? Because basically every device will contain the OS. See, RAM and ROM are the devices, memory devices there. What are the software? Operating system is one software that is very good. One best example is the OS. Next, software components. In our mobile or CP system, we are regularly using something. Some software components we are using, regularly we are using. One best example already he given as operating system is one best example. Okay, whether it is Android or Windows or whatever, OS is one example. Regularly we are using, without OS we can't run our mobile or computer itself. Software components, the software which we are running on the computer are the software components only. Okay. For our what we regularly what we know is if you are using players in your computer, VLC player, Windows Media Player, etc. They are the software components. Okay. We have the drivers to detect pen drive. We have the driver internally there will be driver. Audio drives will be there, video drives will be there, graphic card drivers will be there. All those are the software components. All those are the software components that are available. Okay. Regularly what we are using in our applications, in our mobile, whatever the apps we are using, all are the software components only. Okay, regularly we are using WhatsApp, Facebook, all these are the software components of your mobile. In your mobile, you are using these softwares. These are the software components. When we come to the laptop, okay, when we come to the laptop, we have the operating system. We are using the audio players. We are using the video players. Some people will install the software for playing games. Okay, graphic card software drivers will be there. Audio drives will be there. Drivers will be there. Those are the regularly softwares which are we know very well. Directly which we know very well. These are the some software components. Now, when we come to these software components, whether it is OS or play apps or anything, how software components will understand the instructions. Now the question is, how a software component will understand the instructions given by the user. How a software component will understand the, somebody here texted, screen disconnect అయిందండి, కనెక్ట్ లో ఉన్నాం కదా. No problem at all. మాకైతే డిస్కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదు. Yes, exactly. Now we are going to this one. Okay, by using machine code or binary code or machine language, how software components will understand the by using the machine code or binary code or machine language, whatever we are calling that one. What is this machine language or binary code or machine code? What it contains? Yes, the machine language or binary language will contain only two characters are there, 0 and 1. Okay, they will contain 0 and 1 only. The machine language contains only two characters, 0 and 1. Any instruction we want to give to the software, we have to give using those two instructions, 0 and 1 only. By using the 0 and 1 only, we have to give any instruction we want to give. వాయిస్ ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనండి ఇంకా కట్ అవుతూనే ఉందా? Is it okay my voice now? Okay, when we come to the software components, to give instructions to the software components, we use the binary code or machine code which contains only two characters, 0 and 1. When we want to give the instructions to the hardware components, we use electronic charges, and when we come to the software components, we use the binary code or machine code which contains 0s and 1s only. Clear? Now when we come to this machine code, the machine code contains only 0s and 1s. So for the programmer, it is very difficult to directly write in the machine code. To write all the instructions for the software in machine code is very difficult. Why? Because it contains only two characters, 0s and 1s only. Okay, that's why the people have jumped from machine code to high level languages. We know very well. Okay, generally the programmers will write the programs in high level language only. Okay, which is very easy for the programmer to write and understand. It will be very easy for the programmer. So that generally the programmer will prefer to use only the high level languages instead of writing directly in the machine code. Okay, like C++, Python, Java, all these are the high level languages. We are writing the code directly in high level language instead of writing in the machine code. Why? Because writing the programs in the high level language is easy. Writing instructions in high level language is very comfortable for the programmer. Why? Because generally high level languages are purely basing on the normal English only. The high level languages are purely basing on the normal English, so that the people are very happy and comfortable to write directly in the high level languages. But the problem is machine can understand only the machine language. It can't understand the high level languages. Clear? So here one problem is we are writing in high level language, but the system is able to understand only the machine language. Now we have to do something to convert that high level language into machine language. Okay. Meanwhile, when we write a program in high level language, we must convert that high level language program into machine language. Then only the machine will understand your instructions. Otherwise, the machine can't understand the instructions, what to do or what not to do. It can't understand. For that purpose, we must change our high level language to machine language code. Okay, that process of converting that high level language to machine language is called the language processing system. We call that entire system as language processing system, which is our first topic in the compiler design, that is the language processing system. Okay, see the slide one. Yeah, no, I didn't talk anything. I am keep on. Just read those points once, then we will go to the next one. Is it okay? Now we are going to our first concept, that is called a language processing system. Language processing system means nothing but the process of converting the high level language to machine language is known as the language processing system. Okay, generally the programmer will write the program in high level language, but we have to do many works to convert that high language to machine language. Okay, by using some help of some other persons in the middle, we have to convert that high level language to machine language. That the entire process is known as the language processing system. Is it clear briefly what is this language processing system means? The process of converting the high level language to machine language is known as this language processing system. Now see this one. Okay, this is the total process of converting the high level language to machine language. Source code, which is given to preprocessor. Preprocessor will give the preprocessed code. Again, that code is given to compiler. Compiler will give assembly code. Again, it is given to assembler. Assembler will give the relocatable machine code. It is given to linker. Linker will give the executable machine code. This executable machine code is again given to loader. Loader is finally loading that into main memory. This is briefly in one line what is this language processing system means. In the diagrammatic format, this is the process of converting high level language code to machine language. Okay, briefly we have discussed each and every point clearly. Guys, please don't write on the screen. Okay, when we come to the first point is the source code. What is the source code? What it contains? What is the source code? The program which we have written in the high level language is known as the source code. Okay, whatever the code we have written in a high level language by using C language or C++ or Java, whatever it is, the program which we have written in high level language is known as the source code. Clear? Generally, when we come to a C source program, what it contains? If you take a C program, for example, if you take the source code, the high level language program which will be written in the high level language known as the source code. The source code will contain the preprocessor directives will be there. Okay, the source code will contain preprocessor directives. Yes, exactly. Hash include, hash define, etc. Those are called the preprocessor directives. Okay, for example, see. Guys, please don't write on the screen. See, is the program visible to you? Is the program visible? Program కనపడుతుందండి. See, in this program, okay, we have written these lines. Among these lines, the first line is the what is this hash include? What is this hash include? It is the preprocessor directives. Okay, the source code will contain the preprocessor directives will be there. Preprocessor commands are preprocessor directives. Regularly we use the hash include. Sometimes we use the hash define also. Hash define 3.14. What is this hash include will do? What is this hash define will do? What is this hash include will do? And what is this hash define will do? See, when we come to the hash include will include the header files into your program. The duty of this hash include is the inclusion of file inclusion. That means bringing the header files into our program is the duty of this hash include. What is this hash define will do? What is this hash define will do? Hash define 53.14. Simple language. In simply what we can call that one as? See, by use, okay, briefly I will explain you. Okay, if you want, then otherwise after some time you will get more clarity. When we come to the hash define, it is one usage is to define the constant. We can define constant by using hash define. One advantage of the hash define is by using the hash define, we can define the constant. That, for example, in the example I have given here, hash include pi 3.14. That means wherever in the program below, when I get the variable pi, immediately the variable will be replaced with the value 3.14. Okay, to define constants, we can use the hash define to define the constant. The second usage of the hash define is to define macros. To define macros, we use this same hash define. See, the second one is the defining macros. This is called the macro syntax. Okay, this is called macro name. This is the this is called the macro name, and this is called the other one is called the this is called the macro. Okay, okay, some signal problem is there. This is called the macro name, and this is called the macro definition. This is called the macro name, and this is called the macro definition. In the program, whenever we have the word area, that area will be replaced by the formula S into S. It will be replaced with the formula S into S. For example, generally, if the formula of area is very large formula I have for area. See, I have a very large formula for area. Area is equal to S into S by F plus into J minus K plus T. This like this, I have a large formula for the area, and I have to use this formula 5 times in a program. That means generally 5 times I have to write this entire formula 5 times. Is it correct? Normally, if I want to use this formula 5 times in the program means I have to write that complete formula 5 times below. Okay. Instead of writing that one 5 times, what I will do is I will define this one to the name area. Okay. So simply instead of writing this entire large formula, in the place of this large formula, wherever we want to write this large formula, there simply we write this what? Area. So that, okay, this is called the macro definition. So, okay, these are called, this concept is called macros, in which we have, it has two parts will be there for macros. One is macro name. Here the name we are using is area, and this is the macro definition. Whenever we want this entire definition in your program, simply we write the name area. Whenever we have area, what is available in the program, that word will be replaced with this entire formula. That is the thing. So when we come to the hash define, two advantages are there. One is to define constants, and the second one is to define macros. Briefly, in one line, what is the macro means? Whenever we have the large formulas are there, to replace that entire large formula, simply we use the short name. Yeah, exactly, happily. Okay, for that large formula, simply we replace that large formula with single word, so that this is the entire macro definition is there. Since that definition is very large, instead of writing the same definition more number of times in the program, we use the shortcut word area. Clear? When these macros are useful means whenever we want to use the large definitions more number of times in the program. For only one time usage, no advantage at all. But if you want to use the large definition for more number of times in the program, we use this macros, so that వాయిస్ ఇంకా ప్రాబ్లంగా ఉందండి. ఐఎమ్ ట్రయింగ్ మై లెవెల్ బెస్ట్ ఫర్ ద వాయిస్. ఎంతకంటే లేదండి. Yeah, exactly. It will be working as a global variable, which is already initialized. So, okay, that is the thing. So when we come to our concept here, this hash include, is it clear briefly what is this hash define and hash include? Is it briefly clear? Roughly, what is hash include? Roughly, what is hash define? Okay, very good. Okay, these are called the preprocessor directives. Okay, these are called preprocessor directives are there. The hashtags, any keyword which is followed, which is preceded by the hash symbol is known as the preprocessor directive. In the C language, simply remember in the C or C++, any keyword which is preceded by the hashtag, they are known as the preprocessor directives. Okay, all preprocessor directives are always preceded by the hash symbol, hashtag. See, data type problem will not come. Simply here, for yes, F, for the formula, you will declare the variables below. Okay, we will discuss this briefly after some time. After this concept is over, we will run a sample program to understand the macros. Separately, we will run the program. Okay, wait for next class. We will run separate program to understand completely the macros. Present, is it okay? The briefly, what is the definition of the hash include and hash define? Okay, generally the high level language program will contain the pre-processed directives will be there in the high level language program. Clear? Now, when we come to our concept, when we write the source program will contain the preprocessor directives. Okay, what is the duty of this preprocessor? The duty of this preprocessor is to replace the duty of this preprocessor is to replace all the preprocessor directives. It has to replace all the preprocessor directives. Okay, the duty of the preprocessor is to replace all the preprocessors, to substitute all the preprocessors. That means what the preprocessor will do is for the first line hash include stdio.h, it will remove this line and it will bring all the code of stdio.h into your program. Okay, it will bring that file into your program and it will remove that line. Okay, the preprocessor what it will do is for the line hash include stdio.h, simply the preprocessor will bring that file into your program. Clear? It will remove that hash include and it will bring that stdio.h file into your program. That is the thing. And when there is a hash defined, it will replace all the pi values with 3.14. Guys, are you understanding? Guys who are writing on the screen, please don't write. For example, please don't write. One more time I'm saying, please don't write on the screen. For example, the situation like this. Oh, sorry, this is C language, not Java. For example, this is the program we have. Okay, if this is the source program, what the preprocessor will do is, whenever this is the program, what the preprocessor will do is, here two command directives are there. The hash define is there, hash include is there. First, it will remove this hash define. Wherever we have pi, it will replace that pi with 3.14. In the code, it will remove that pi with 3.14. 3.14. In the program, wherever the value pi is there, first the preprocessor will remove all those pi's and it will place the value 3.14, so that this line will be removed. Next, for the hash include stdio.h, it will include this file into the program. Okay, from the library, it will bring the stdio.h file and it will place in the program and it will remove this line also. So after preprocessor directives are second step, the program will be like this. Is it clear? What is this preprocessor will do? The preprocessor will replace all the preprocessor directives. Okay, they will remove all the preprocessor directives. If you are using hash include, the header files will be bring into your program by the preprocessor. If you are using hash define, okay, those constant variables will be replaced with their corresponding values. All the constant variables will be replaced with their constant, with their corresponding values. That is the work done by the preprocessor. The second step is the preprocessor. From the source code, the preprocessor will remove all the preprocessor directives present in the program. Is it clear, guys? What is happening in the second one? Preprocessor. అర్థమవుతుందండి? సింపుల్ ఏం లేదండి, మన హ్యాష్ డిఫైన్ పై 3.14 రాస్తే ఈ ప్రీ ప్రాసెసర్ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే ప్రోగ్రామ్ మొత్తం వెతుకుద్ది పై అనే వేరియబుల్ ఎక్కడుందా అని ప్రోగ్రామ్ మొత్తం వెతికి ఎక్కడ పై కనపడ్డా సరే సింప్లీ ఇట్ విల్ రీప్లేస్ దట్ వన్ విత్ 3.14. ఆ పైలు ఎక్కడ ఉన్నా సరే వాటన్నిటిని 3.14 తో రీప్లేస్ చేస్తుంది. ఎక్కడైనా హ్యాష్ ఇన్క్లూడ్ కనపడితే ఆ హ్యాష్ ఇన్క్లూడ్ stdio.h రాస్తే ఆ ఫైల్ హెడర్ ఫైల్ మొత్తం మన ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో తీసుకొచ్చింది. హ్యాష్ ఇన్క్లూడ్ math.h రాసామంటే ఆ math.h హెడర్ ఫైల్ మొత్తాన్ని మన ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేస్తుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద డ్యూటీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్. Okay guys, just 1 minute time is there for our session. Again we will connect. I will send you the mail ID and password one more time. Again connect. Is it okay? The session time is over. Immediately I will send you the ID and password. Again connect.